Oh, we're live.
Oh, crap. Here, I thought we were time delayed. Welcome to Open Caller. I am Corey. Across the radio waves is Michelle. Thanks for joining us. I have risen from the basement and I'm on my main level this evening. So things are a little different than usual. But
still kind of the same.
Yeah. I think many things have improved. Many things have stayed the same.
Stay the same.
So
the best
quick
part is nothing has gotten worse. Probably.
We'll find out. We are 45 seconds in.
It's already up. It's actually later than usual, so that's pretty good. We'll call that a win.
Any sort of positivity is the way to go. Minor housekeeping item. We have an official new show cover art for the podcast.
Woo!
It's artfully artistic.
It's
cartoonistic,
caricaturistically beautiful.
Yes, all that and more. So I don't know if I said this to you, but when we put that up, there was like a massive spike in downloads.
Oh yeah,
I guess people are like, "Oh, this is professional now."
Oh, I remember these guys. Sure, I'll download them.
Remember Open Caller? They're back in cartoon form.
It's like
kind
they never left.
We were here, but then we were gone apparently. But no, we had never left. Yeah. So here we are. More professional, less professional, more the same.
The same amount of professional. Is none professional the right answer? It's an answer.
Yeah, it is not the answer, but is an answer. So we do have one answer. Who is going to be in the NBA Finals?
The Raptors and the Warriors.
Again.
Yeah.
I saw a thing on Twitter. I guess it was a gambling website did a geotag sort of data roundup of people talking about the NBA Finals on Twitter, specifically using the hashtags We the North and whatever where is this? Like Dub City. Dub City or county or country or whatever. Anyhow, so they compiled all that, and of the 50 states, 47 are pulling for the Raptors.
Oh, really?
So Canada's team is
North America's team.
North America's team. Yeah, so the three states that are polling for the Warriors would be California, Nevada, and Hawaii. So basically
the rest.
As far west as you could possibly go in the States is pulling for, or the furthest part of from Toronto you can go. Everyone else is from Toronto.
I'm cheering for the Raptors for sure, but I'm also on the realistic train.
Yeah.
And there's lots of storylines with this, right? The Warriors they don't have Kevin Durant, but it's not like they need him because
they're better without him.
They pass the ball around a lot more, and they, the scoring gets spread out a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that has to do with Durant being like a ball hog or anything. It's just that having him there it's an easy, pass it to Will situation.
Right.
But so without him in these playoffs, they're 5-0, so that's great. Without him in the last, I forget what the stat is, but in the last 30 something games, they're 30 something and 1.
That's right.
So they're fine. They have a really good group of people who can score. But on the flip side, Toronto's won both games in the regular season, which admittedly doesn't mean that much, but that's nice to that's a nice little bit of a confidence boost to kind of go into the series. And then on top of the fact that a lot of the Warriors starting lineup has played pretty much an entire extra season over the last 5 years because of playoffs. Whether that actually slows them down or anything, I mean, considering they just had 10 days off, from sweeping their last series. Who knows? They'll probably be fine.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Also, like Kawhi Leonard is amazing. He's so good, easily top 5, maybe even top 3 in the league. But man, every single game that Toronto won in the Bucks series, he was gassed. Like he was, I don't know if he was hurt, but he was definitely tired and definitely just out of breath the last, quarter most of the time. And whatever, like he pulled through and he did great, but like I don't know if he's going to be able to sustain that against against the Warriors. I'm just hope like I want them to win. I really hope they do well. This is the kind of game where I want a shirt that says I just hope both teams have fun. Like I don't want Toronto just to get blown out hard, just lose by 20 or 30 points every single game and have it be like, oh well, all right, you made it past the Bucks, but that probably would have been a better series. But at the same time, like you you have to be a little realistic. You're playing a team that has won 3 times in the last 4 years, a few more before that maybe, and they've just been
in a row.
Yeah, and they've just been in the finals for the 5th year. There's a reason for that, and there's a couple of reasons why this is the first time Toronto's in the finals. But I'll be cheering them on. See how it goes. Can't win them all.
Just win one.
Yeah, 1 would be amazing. 2 or 3 would just be fantastic.
Yeah. As long as it's not a sweep.
I would say Warriors in 5 is my realistic answer. Toronto in 7 would be, I think, my ideal. Like that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Speaking of 7, so
7. Sorry.
Okay.
I would wager that 75% of our audience got that. The other 25, I don't know who you are.
So it's you and I plus one person out of the 2 that are not listed.
Yeah.
So the Stanley Cup finals have begun. We made picks. I don't know. I don't listen to the show, so I'm not sure if we covered it last time.
We did not pick last time.
So off air, we had the same picks. Both took Boston, both took St. Louis, and both were correct.
Yep.
So that brings our total to a whopping 7-7.
Hey, I'll take it.
And I am 7-7.
So you're in the lead.
And so game 2 is tonight. It's starting momentarily.
Is it tonight?
We're recording here on Wednesday, the 29th of May. So Boston won the first one, but again, we made our cup final picks prior to. I have the Bruins, you have the Blues, just so we make sure that we're not finished tied.
That's right.
So we'll see.
We'll see. I
could not care less.
It's tough with I constantly am hearing about St. Louis's Stanley Cup Finals record.
Yeah.
Of a respectable 13 now or 12?
I think 13.
Now it's 13. I think they were 0-12 before this playoffs, and then they were up by 2 and then just let it slip away and are now 0-13. So
they had a good run.
Yeah, well, we'll see. There's still time, but yeah, like that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
Especially against Boston. Nebraska's been playing great. So, you gotta take those like early goals if you can get them, and then just keep peppering the goalie instead of being like, well, we're up 2, we should probably be fine.
I can't remember if I remember. Sorry, I heard this, but I'm not sure if I'm remembering it correctly. But I think the last game they said Boston is has the or have appeared in the most Stanley Cup finals of all American hockey teams.
Oh, really?
I think it's like their 20th appearance.
That's
I think
pretty.
that's what it is. Well, they've been around for 90 years.
Yeah,
So.
that's pretty good. Pretty good. Quarter of the time.
Yeah. So let's move on. So again, sports is not really what this show is about. We like to dissect and rag on movies and television.
That's right.
So you ventured out to a whole
did.
new world yesterday
It
and
was
took a gander at the live action adaptation or remake or reboot or
not reboot because it's the same,
but is
just
it though?
worse a little bit.
The same but
So-
worse.
Yeah.
So you saw Aladdin.
Yeah, I did. And like I was saying, it wasn't great, but it wasn't the worst live action Disney movie I've seen.
So is it not great by comparison, or just as
Well,
outside of comparing it, it's not great as a movie?
It's probably fine as a movie. It's hard to watch that and not compare it
Separate,
to
right?
the original Aladdin, obviously, because probably 90% of it is the same. There was a few things I was kind of worried about. And like we've talked before about how movies that are adaptations of books, leave stuff out because obviously there's not enough time in a movie to put everything that's in the book. But then my whole gripe, like I'm okay with that because I get it. I don't want a 7-hour long movie. But my whole gripe with that is when you leave something out, but then add something that didn't happen in the books in its place. Harry Potter is my kind of big example of that. But in this one, I was a little worried because the original movie was an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
Which was a very good length. Perfect time. It like everything moved pretty quickly. There was no kind of downtime or anything. The live action one is a hair over 2 hours long. And I was like, how do you turn a hour and a half long movie into a 2-hour long movie and, maintain everything that happened? Well, it's by adding 2 songs that weren't in the original movie, which there's like, I'm like, well, it's unnecessary pretty much. And then, the rest of it was fine. I think that was my biggest thing was like, this song isn't in the movie. And obviously Aladdin, Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, all those movies that came out that time, like the music made the movie. You could essentially listen to the soundtrack and see the movie playing in your head. While you were listening. But then when they just throw in songs, it kind of just took me out of the movie, which I was kind of expecting, like, that's fine. The other thing that I was kind of worried about was, of course, Will Smith's Genie. And I didn't hate it. Like, I didn't love it. Obviously, it's Robin Williams' role, and no one's going to take that. And what I kind of liked about it was, you saw Will Smith in it. It wasn't like, oh, he's trying to be Robin Williams' Genie. He was just, I'm surprised he didn't say something like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have just been, it's the Fresh Prince of, the lamp, basically. And so I was kind of okay with that.
Smell sequel series.
Because it suited, what I was looking at. If they had made him kind of look like Genie and do the exact same jokes the exact same way, it probably would have fell short because no one can do it like Robin Williams can.
Well, Robin Williams, 90% of his role was all ad-libbed.
Yeah, exactly. but like it, because a lot of this movie was, you know, taken line for line from uh the original, right? So like if they were to do those same lines, like Will Smith doing the exact same lines, it would have fallen just super flat. But you know, he had his own little, you know, Will Smithness to it, and I thought it was fine. Um, I did see, I saw a picture online a while ago, and it basically had the Hitch um cover, but
Yeah.
with Genie, and it was just called Hitch 2. And I was like, yep, that seems about right, because it basically was Hitch 2, where he's just saying, you know, here, like, I can turn you into this guy you think she's gonna like, and but then, you know, in the end, she's gonna like you for you, blah blah blah. So I guess maybe Hitch took that from Aladdin, but it seemed very much
Or
Hitchy.
like any romantic comedy that ever
Any
existed
romantic
ever.
comedy, but like especially because Will Smith was like, even in Hitch, you know, he just acts like you would imagine Will Smith acting, like the Fresh Prince style of just
So
kind of
Will
joking and
Smith being Will
whatever.
Smith.
Yeah, you know, Will stuff, stuff like that. So like it's just, it was fine. I didn't hate his Genie, um, but obviously nothing's going to compare to Robin Williams. Uh, Aladdin, Jasmine, Jafar, like all those characters they were fine. I didn't have any problems with any of them. But yeah, my kind of main thing was just additional songs, and you know, a couple of scenes that I wish they had kind of taken from the original and put into this movie, but I'm okay with how they changed up a few of the things.
Some of
But
the dance numbers were very underwhelming.
yes, well, there was one part. Um, they are in the bazaar, and he has just stolen some bread, or
Now, is it more? Is
stolen
it a
something.
bread? Because if you watch back the original animated, he's stealing bread, but the bread, which would not be the case, is a baguette
Yeah,
because it's this long,
yeah.
thin piece of bread, which you would not have, like in
In
Agrabah.
Agrabah.
Anywhere outside of Paris is not gonna, or
Yeah,
anywhere in France is not gonna be the case.
but no, he. I can't. Oh, I think in this one, it's he has stolen some jewel from, or some jewel back from, for Jasmine. But like the whole time when they were singing and dancing in that scene, it seemed like they sped up the, you know, it was like a, what's the opposite of slow motion, like
Fast
time
motion.
lapse, but like, yeah, I guess like a time lapse. It just seemed like people were moving faster than they should have, but they were still singing at a normal like pace. I don't know, it seemed weird and off to me,
Mhm.
but maybe that's just what they were going for. Like, you know, obviously it's a fast paced kind of chase scene, so they had to do things quickly, but they didn't want to make it seem like the song was rushed either. I don't know. You know, little things like that. But it was fine. I thought a lot of the songs were done pretty well. You know, changed up enough to make it not exactly like the original, but not too much that you thought it was just a totally different song. And if you wanted to, I guess you could sing along. Please don't do that in the theater if you go, though. It's not a good idea.
Unless it has the bouncing ball, it's a sing-along
Yeah,
version.
exactly. It's like, this is the the audience participation portion of the movie. Said no
I
theater ever.
I threw on the soundtrack. I think it was a Monday or Tuesday.
The
Eh,
original or 2019?
This one, so the
This one.
remake
Yeah.
one, because I just had rewatched the cartoon, and I wasn't digging it. I wasn't digging how they did some of the songs. Like the arrangements are the same, the beats are the same, but
Yeah,
just like the way they would shorten stuff where the lot where
exactly. Yeah, there was like A
it,
Whole
it,
New
it
World
sound
was
yeah, it
way
just sounds
shorter
odd.
than, yeah. Um
Like they didn't hold notes as long in the other one, where you figure they should, but they don't, just to be different.
yeah. But then it's also like, yeah, are you just figuring they should because that's how we've heard it for the last 100 years? not
Well,
100.
that's my problem with just covers in general. Like, I would rather listen to the Beatles, you know,
Yeah,
sing, you know,
their
a
song.
day versus having someone else, or listen to the Beatles sing, Blackbird.
Yeah, like they did it the way they wanted it to be. Whether you remake it or not, like there's obviously there's two ways to do it. You could just copy it 100%, and then people are like, well, if you're copying it 100%, I'd rather just hear the original. And
Right.
then the other thing is, oh, well, I want to add my own little twist to it. No, why don't you just make your own song and
Yeah,
add your own
exactly.
little twist to that?
It's like we all grew up with Sinead O'Connor's "Nothing Compares to You," but then found out that Prince recorded one beforehand before giving it to her. So then I heard that one. Like, no, this is the version
Yeah,
that should have
this is
always
the one.
existed. Fuck Sinead O'Connor's version of "Nothing Compares to You."
Yeah. Looks like nothing compares to her.
Nothing
Nope,
compares to
to
Prince.
Prince.
Which falls back to Aladdin because Jafar looks just like Prince.
Yeah, it's true.
Missed opportunity. If he had not died and they were remaking this movie, I would have petitioned hard for Prince to
Yeah.
be Jafar.
Change.org. Let's go.
Do you see that there's a change.org petition to have Danny DeVito be Wolverine in the MCU?
Yes, I did see that. I need to put my signature on that.
And then go back 20 years when it may have worked out. When
Yeah.
they were first doing the original X-Men movies.
I wonder, like, I'd like to see
Guy is old as fuck now, though.
Yeah,
so.
I'd like to see the stats on how many change.org petitions actually like come to fruition, like
would like none percent surprise you?
because like I know that there's a number, and it's like once it reaches this many signatures, the president has to like officially like at least take a look at it, like give it that bit of attention. It doesn't mean he has to act on it, or it doesn't mean that he has to like do it, but he has to make that effort to read. I don't know.
Wasn't there one stupid fan one? I can't remember what it was for that like got enough, and like the Obama administration like commented on it.
Yeah, exactly. Like they had to, because it got to whatever number of like signatures it has to be, like 1 million or 500,000 or whatever it is. Like it's like obviously you need to get a lot of signatures for that to happen, but it was not. I can't remember what the subject was, but it wasn't something that Obama needed to be looking at and commenting on. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right in that none percent guess.
Oh no, I don't know.
Yeah.
Might have to look into that and bring it up for next time. But yeah, I remember there was one, and like I think it got covered everywhere that it was like good on them for commenting on it, just because again it was so stupid.
Yeah, but I mean,
like some space thing or Star Wars or something.
Apparently, there was a lot of people that were very diehard about it. So good for them for making a comment.
Following up on last week when we were talking about some of the CW shows, and I mentioned the Batwoman trailer.
Yep.
And those one-liners. So apparently the CW has been facing massive amount of backlash regarding that trailer, and the complaints are over those one-liners.
Really?
Yeah.
Not surprising.
Yeah. So there's so as of the article I'm pulling up here, so this would have been as of Monday, there was over 335,000 dislikes.
Wow.
Compared to the 72,000 likes with 4.6 million overall views. Over 88,000 comments and counting are accumulating on the video as well, and the vast majority are negative.
Yeah.
The primary focus is on the one-liner about a man taking credit for a woman's work, which he utters after breaking into the Batman's secret lair and taking his suit, tech, and identity. Which is what I said is how it ends. So like, maybe just don't have that stuff. Like you can be all empowering all you want. Just you don't like
You don't have to shove it down
Yeah, exactly.
anyone's throat.
We understand there's toxic masculinity in the world, but you're just, fanning the flame when you do stuff like that.
Yeah. Um, there's similar kind of backlash leading to changes
Sonic the
with
Hedgehog.
the Sonic. Yeah. Like, did you see that trailer? Like, did you watch it?
Yeah.
So
I wish I didn't.
yeah, like I got told about it. Someone was like, "Oh, have you seen this trailer?" And I was like, no, I'll check it out." And instantly they were like, "No, don't." Which of course made me want to watch it. Um, so I had watched it either that night or the night after that, and I just wow, such bad everything. Um, and then apparently just all the backlash and people talking about it has now caused the movie to be delayed. They're going to rework a lot of stuff and then, I guess, well, not re-release because it's not out yet, but release it at a later time with
Right.
drastic changes.
Yeah. So
So,
the
like the stuff does
complaint
work.
was the teeth.
Yeah.
And I heard the talk was, oh yeah, the artists or the VFX artists are going to go back and redo the teeth, but it wasn't just teeth.
No, it wasn't just that. That was like
he's a hedgehog, and they gave him fur, and like Sonic has a very classic, iconic look.
Yes, very distinct.
This looked nothing like Sonic, save for the red shoes. But even then, the shoes were like normal running shoes.
Yeah, like
versus like
red shoes. Like that's it.
So the release date of November 8th of this year is not happening. It is now coming out Valentine's Day, February 14th of 2020.
Yeah, so 3 months.
Yeah, good on them.
Yeah.
Still good. I'm still predicting shit because if
of course it's going to be.
They're only going to be updating the VFX and not taking a look at everything else because there was a lot of stuff wrong. That looks like. I know it's based on like an 80s, 90s property, but it looked like it could have come out in the 80s and 90s.
And if they were going to do that, just copy it, one for one.
Yeah, like they could have done it just like any sort of Looney Tunes, like Back in Action or Space Jam. It had it just be a 2D Sonic or like a 2D Roger Rabbit, and nobody would have cared. And you could have had him look exactly like he does in the cartoon.
Everyone probably would have actually appreciated that and been like, yes. I remember Sonic looking exactly like this.
Like you don't always have to make it look realistic,
modern.
To say, it's like, this it has to look like he just came into our world, so it has to look
like
plausible.
No, he doesn't.
No, just like we all. While we enjoyed the first Transformers, I'm sure everyone would say they did not need lips, they did not need moving mouths. They could have just looked like they did.
They didn't need to pee oil on anyone.
Bumblebee, stop lubricating on that. Then like, was it what was Devastator in the second one where he had like those like crane, like those giant fucking crane balls that are smacking around like testicles?
Yeah, like why?
Or the
two
racists?
the two
twins,
motorcycle and whatever. Just not a good look.
Do a deep dive into the Transformers movies down the line.
But like they could have easily done something like how Spider-Verse had different universes, in one, and they didn't try and make all of them look like Earth. They made them look like how they looked.
Yeah, there's like an anime,
the Spider-Man Noir, or whatever.
Yeah, and then there was like the Looney Tunes, like with Spider-Ham.
The regular one and the rest. Spider-Gwen.
And then keeping in line with this, it was also released or revealed that Sony is launching PlayStation Productions, which will adapt their exclusive games for the big screen.
Yes. So we are looking at Spider-Man the game, the movie.
The movie.
But there's a few titles
Parappa the Rapper, the movie.
I'd be like, NHL 19, the movie. Actually, I guess that's not PlayStation only.
So I'm gonna assume you're gonna have like fucking
God of War.
Crash Bandicoot for the kids. Yeah, God of War.
Tetris? Tetris Effect. What else do they have PlayStation exclusivity on? Like a lot, but
Is Last of Us on there?
maybe.
Exclusive to PS?
Yeah, I don't know if it's exclusive.
No, they have a catalog of over 100 video game properties, and they
Okay.
adapt them for both big screen and small screen. So
Wow.
yeah,
Although
there doesn't really say specifically which titles that they're referring to, but I guess that would be if they say 100. I'm going to assume that's just exclusive.
yeah.
Yeah, we've got 25 years of game development experience and created 25 years of great games. So anything above
So
that,
you know we're gonna make good movies. It's clearly
just goes without saying.
yeah. I like wasn't I wouldn't normally have been excited about their PS5 kind of announcements either because I was like, whatever. There's absolutely no way I'm getting it because I barely play the PS4 as it is.
Yeah.
But then when they're talking, there's this video of like load times because they're going to be using SSDs for their storage,
Solid state drives,
solid state drives, and
uninitiated and
Yeah.
abbreviations for hard drives.
And like SSDs have much faster read and write speeds, and it just I was recently playing Spider-Man, and just the load time of like warping from a place where they show the little clip of him on the subway or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they're showing that clip to like make it seem like there's not a load time, right? But that's obviously the whole load time thing. But if that wasn't there, that would be huge. And then if all my current PS4 games can work there, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm probably still not going to get it. Let's be honest, but that is a whatever else they add to the PS5, I think that is going to be like the thing that kind of users are going to get the most advantage out of.
Yeah, I can't see slightly better graphics and marginally faster load times is something that's going to justify another purchase of $600-700.
No, yeah, for sure. And like I don't remember reading this at all, but is it going to have like physical media stuff, or is it going to be digital only? I feel like they would do that and just say, "Oh yeah, oh wait, no, it's going to have." I don't know, like if you're going to be able to use your games, or if it's just like, "All right, well, we're going to give you a 3 terabyte storage drive. Download all your stuff."
Yeah, I could see them going physical
Digital.
media-less. Or
Especially
digital only,
like with
which makes the more sense than what I said.
But like what Xbox is doing it, or at least halfway doing it.
Yeah,
right?
they're introducing it now. Yeah.
Are they selling them side by side, or is like do you have the option of going one or the other, or they're just
Yeah,
moving
they'll have
everything?
options.
Yeah. Okay,
Options.
so they're not just like moving to digital only. They're just like, if you want to do digital only.
No, I think you can't at this point. I think if you have deals in place with developers that are making games, so they have to ship titles, and
Yeah.
I think if you're launching a new system, you can say, oh, going forward it's going to be this.
Right, but for the current batch.
Yeah, you'd have to option both. Like if Nintendo does release another version of the Switch and it's only digital, if you want this, you pay X dollars more so you can put the card in.
Yeah.
Which you think could be the other way around.
The other way around, exactly. But we'll see.
Let's switch gears over to some Marvel news, because we do like our Marvel. Case in point, our Avengers talking all that jazz. So the final season of Jessica Jones has a release date.
June something.
June the 14th.
14th.
Yeah, so we'll drop, I guess, 13 episodes, I think is what they've been doing.
Yeah.
And that is it. Marvel is done on Netflix. You going to miss it?
Nope. I'm
Not necessarily
sold.
just Jessica
Yeah.
Jones. I just mean miss like the grittier, non kid friendly versions of.
Yeah, like I'm gonna miss, and I do miss Daredevil, but the others, I like. While I like them, they were never like the show I wanted to watch. I was watching
Mhm.
it because there might be something in that pertained to the next season of Daredevil
Yeah.
or whatever. Um, but like I enjoyed Jessica Jones seasons 1 and 2, so I'll likely watch it. But you know, if I don't finish it by July 4th, well, I'm not gonna not watch Stranger Things for it.
Mhm.
So if it's there, and I want to focus on something and not just watch The Office or Friends while they are on, like while they last on Netflix.
Yeah.
Um, we'll see. I'll probably get around to it eventually, though.
Yeah. Jessica Jones, I love the first season. I thought
Yeah, the first
Kilgrave
one
was a
was so good.
fantastic villain. The second season,
Was
for me,
so
started off
solid.
strong and then kind of meandered towards the end.
Fizzled
Um,
out.
yeah, they've only had this teaser announcing the date is like 30 seconds and shows you very little. So
Very little.
I don't know what to take on that. But yeah, it'll be sad that end of an era.
Well, it was important for me.
End of an era on there, and we have to wait and see what they do with these characters. I'm curious to see if there's a slim chance that now that Disney has operation control of Hulu, if they just bring
Put it
that
on
stuff
there.
over there in a year or two once the deals with Netflix are up.
We'll see. We'll find out in what 6 months.
Yeah,
Well,
maybe I'll
probably
wait till it's
before
done
then,
and
but
announce. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Like if things happening on Disney Plus or MCU connected, if um after Homecoming opens and Marvel announces their Phase 4, I don't know if that's going to include these limited series or Disney Plus series.
yeah, I'd like it to
But
be all on one platform.
yeah.
So
Um, now, as we speculate, there's rumors and speculation going around specifically regarding Deadpool. So apparently, Marvel is exploring ways of bringing him over to the MCU. Now, there's talk of options that are being considered. One is a Deadpool 3, where they'll just be or find a way integrating him. Disney Plus series, or one that I've heard gaining the most traction is having him show up in the third Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah.
Of those three, which one would you like the most, or seems the most logical?
I would like. I don't know. I think the movie, like, I don't think a series would be great because I feel like Deadpool, like especially the Deadpool movies, like they're just better in like bite size, like a one off. But if it
Yeah,
was one of those things that got extended and then they had to, you know, Deadpoolify everything, I think that would get annoying after a while, just like every TV show that has done that, like with Barney Stinson and Raj and like everyone else. It's they find a character that isn't the main character that people seem to really love and then turn them into a main character, and it
right.
ruins them because they were awesome for their like one liners here and there, not as a main character.
Now, I don't know if this is how you feel, but for me, I thought when they did the first movie and they had like Ryan Reynolds doing all the promotion in character, I thought that was great. Then they did the second movie and they had Ryan Reynolds going around in character doing promotion. I thought this is too much.
Like we
um,
did this already.
yeah, it's like, oh, I get it. Like like Ryan Reynolds is fantastic. Like I've like have nothing but like joy that he, like this character was like tailor made
Oh,
for him.
absolutely.
He's a guy who like did everything he possibly could. Green Lantern aside, to
Yes.
like to become like the A-lister go-to guy. Like Van Wilder,
Like he was the
great.
one like leaking footage about all this stuff too, to be like, let's try and get some
Yeah,
attention.
let's do it right. Like he's like the George Clooney. He'll self-deprecate over himself with Origins Wolverine on his character's appearance. Like George Clooney, shits all over his Batman and
Yeah.
Robin. And so yeah, like just overjoyed that he's taken off, but at the same time, it gets old.
And
Like
like,
you're saying, you're gonna do like a 10 episode run of Deadpool, which is effectively Deadpool 3. Like I'm sure over by episode 4,
yeah. Well,
I'll get to this.
it was like when we talked about Deadpool 2. Like it was the
It's
same movie.
yes,
The same jokes, the same action stuff. And it was just the same. And that's why, we both agreed that Deadpool 1 was the better movie, even if Deadpool 2 had, a couple of funnier parts here and there. Overall, Deadpool 1 was just the way better movie,
Mhm.
not by a little bit. But then when you just kind of repeat yourself, it's just because something was good doesn't mean that, I don't know. I felt that way about The Hangover. Like I watched Hangover 1 100 times. And then
Mhm.
so when everyone kept saying Hangover 2 is exactly like Hangover 1, I'm like, well, I've already watched it 100 times and I thought it was amazing. The 101st time can't be that bad, right? And then I watched it,
Boy, were
and
you wrong.
boy, was I wrong. Like watching the exact same jokes in a different city or in a different country is not good. So like
No,
I would actually rather watch Hangover 1 and have the exact same jokes where I know them, where I like them, where I want them,
yeah.
rather than them squeezing it into, a different place. And that's what Deadpool 2 was.
There's I think 2 movie franchises I can think off the top of my head that did that exact same thing, and it didn't bother me.
Back to the Future.
One is Back to the Future.
Yeah.
The second one is the Austin Powers franchise.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Like
yeah, I'm
it's
with you.
just, and like, yeah, it was, but the thing with Austin Powers was like they made similar jokes. Like not the exact same joke, but they made similar jokes
Right, and then
kind of all, but
and
like they did it in such a way that it wasn't the exact same. You knew that they were referencing the joke from the first movie, but they, put their little
right,
twist
and then
on
by
it.
the third time they like mentioned, oh, you're doing that again,
Yeah, exactly.
like like
Like
with the
they
zip
knew.
it or the shush. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, haven't we done this before? Yeah. Following up on more rumors here, we have that Marvel apparently is really considering bringing one David Morrissey into the MCU. Now, for those who are not familiar with the name, us big Walking Dead fans know him as the Governor.
That's right.
So they are looking him to be likely the next big bad in Phase 4.
As
Who do you think
and we don't,
he?
well,
Who would you like to be? I think he'd be a good Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I
Because
feel
it's kind of
like,
like a similar character to what the Governor was.
yeah, I think he would be a good Doctor Doom. But are you saying like big bad like Thanos? Like he's going to be the Phase 4, 5, and 6 big bad, or he's going to be the bad guy in a Fantastic Four slash maybe a couple other movies? Because
Just pull up the article here
I
that
don't think
says
that he would be the big, like the Galactus style bad, right? But they could have him as a Ronin style character to Galactus. How Ronin was the bad guy, with Thanos as the big bad guy. but I think he would be. Yeah,
I would have to say if maybe necessarily him, but I think a Doctor Doom would be the next big bad guy.
more than like just the main big one.
Whatever the next one they're doing.
Yeah,
an overarching, like how Loki was a big bad for,
right.
But then there was the overarching
yeah, and like we don't know, right? We don't know what if they're going to do another 3 phases as their next saga. You know, the Infinity Saga was 3 phases, but we don't know that everything's going to be coming in
right
in things of 3. So like maybe phase 4 is on its own, you know, the Doctor Doom phase or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he would make an excellent Doctor Doom.
Who else could you have?
John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic.
And then Emily Blunt.
Absolutely. They would be perfect.
Who would you get as your
Torch?
Ben Grimm. I think Johnny Storm is easy to cast. So
yeah,
the harder one
pretty much anyone.
Probably will be like a Zac Efron or.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Like I didn't care really for the Tim Story, you know, the Chris Evans Fantastic Four movies, but I had no problem with Michael Chiklis's Ben Grimm.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Like, that's the only saving grace of those movies.
That's it.
Just his conflict of, you know, being this rock guy, but other than that, yeah, they're garbage.
I don't know who I would want as.
And so we don't even know if they're coming, like, right?
Yeah, that's true. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves.
Or maybe he'll be Norman Osborn.
Could be. The guy from Stranger Things,
David Harbour.
Yeah, I feel like he would be a
Hopper?
good. Yeah, I feel like he would be a good villain guy, but I just don't know.
Well, he is Hellboy. He's not my Hellboy, but he's Hellboy.
Hell no. But you know, I don't know if he would be a good guy. He might have a good voice for The Rock, like the Thing, the not The Rock.
Marvel presents The Rock
as The Thing.
Oh, speaking of which, Swamp Thing drops on Friday. Have you seen the trailers for that?
I haven't.
Oh, you should watch the last one.
I will watch that.
It looks like it's got some scares to it.
Ooh. There's also Ma's house.
Ma's house?
Or I think it might just be called Ma.
Ma!
Hey, I'm Ma here.
I'm Ma here. Hey, can't you see a Ma here?
Hey.
Forget about it. Speaking of horror movies, I watched the new Pet Sematary. Have you seen it yet?
Yes. We discussed this, didn't we?
Did we?
I don't know if it was on. I don't know if it was on here or if it was on the old chat box. No, we did. We discussed it last.
Because I was talking about it's chapter 2.
Yes. That one looks awesome.
I watched Watchmen again. If that helps.
Crazy. Are you kidding? I was thinking about. I'm like, man, I really want to watch Watchmen last week, and I never got around to watching it.
Great minds.
That's right. They think something sometimes.
I think they think alike.
They think, yeah. But I was really like, oh man, you know what movie I haven't seen in a while is Watchmen. I don't know. It may have been something that we talked about that kind of triggered me wanting to watch it. And maybe that's why you watched it. Or
we said watch a lot.
Maybe that could have been it. But yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I really want to watch that movie, and then I just never got around to it.
Funny story. So I was watching it a bit. I turned it off, and then because it's 3 hours.
Yeah.
So I watched the first hour and a half. And then I put it on again last night, and after Ashley fell asleep, she woke up pretty early. She's like, "Why are you watching this show? Like, what are you talking about?" It's like, "I didn't think you watched this." Like, what are you talking about? She's like, "The Americans." Like, what? Like, that's not Kerry Russell. That's Patrick Wilson. This is Watchmen.
Those are 2 different people.
One's a movie and this is a show. Sure, okay. I think they're both in the 80s, but still.
Yeah.
That was Malin Ackerman.
Watch. It's not on Netflix, is it?
I don't know.
It is
But
not.
now I don't want to end on a bum note, but it got me thinking when I saw this tweet. But yesterday marked the 21st anniversary since Phil Hartman was murdered.
Oh,
Yeah.
Phil Hartman.
And this comes up a lot. I don't know why. Every time I watch anything that has Phil Hartman in it, I always have to stop and just like, I miss Phil Hartman.
Yeah.
So this was 21 years ago. So that would have been 98, right? Yeah. So made 98. So I would have been 12. I think that was the first time that I really experienced somebody that, not that I knew him, but knew of him, that died unexpectedly.
And like
I got
made a pretty big impact. Like
like
Simpsons was
I watched The Simpsons. I was in the age bracket where I started watching stuff now, so I discovered the old Saturday Night Lives.
Yeah.
When he was on there, and he had some of the most iconic characters, like Unfrozen Caveman, Lawyer. Like that was like one of the best sketches ever. Like his argument was always like, I'm just a caveman, unfrozen in your time. Like I don't understand these laws, and that's how he won every case. But just every time Troy McClure or Lionel Hutz popped up on that show, it was game over for anything else that was
absolutely.
going on.
And they were the characters like we were talking about. Like if they ever had their own show, that show would suck. But when they just kind of hop in once every 5, 6, 10 episodes, you're like this is the perfect amount of you because we just get 100% and then we get nothing for a while.
Yeah. One of my favorite Lionel Hutz lines is when they're in the courtroom and he's sighs, what's wrong? It's we drew Judge Snyder. What's wrong with that? It's well, it's gotta have an injury ever since I accidentally ran over his dog. We'll replace the word dog with son. Oh no, replace the word accidentally with repeatedly and dog with son.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I love news radio. So when they did the episode after he passed, that was a hard sit.
Yeah.
So, and to top off that, before he died, he actually was working on doing a live action movie based on Troy McClure.
Really?
He was. I don't know how that would have went based on our previous conversation.
Probably not great, but
just to speculate on the idea,
we would have went to see it for sure.
Yeah, just to speculate
but also
on the idea
that's
of him
also
being
that would have been, let's say he was working on it 98. It was probably coming out in 2000.
Yeah,
where we wouldn't have had all of this, all of our bad experiences with live action and with side characters getting way more spotlight at that point. So it would have been one of the first. So it maybe could have been fun.
Yeah, but you would have had an animated character, not even just getting a live action reboot, but based on, you have to say it's disregarding everything about that show. You have to do. So just taking the name and the concept of this character and making it live action.
Nailed it.
All right. So, any recommendations for this week? I think we missed the last couple too.
We did. I don't have a recommendation per se, but maybe a request of sorts.
Yeah.
Basically my thing is donating blood is, so this is what I was going to say last week actually, and then we didn't get to it, but donating blood, if you can do it, awesome. It helps a lot of people. And if you can't, because of lots of reasons, there's lots of reasons why people can't donate blood, but there shouldn't really be as many reasons of why people don't donate blood. And if you can, I think you should, because you never know, maybe sometime you're going to need some, and it'd be nice if lots of people were donating for you. That's
Yeah,
my
that's
thing.
coming up, eh? Is there like a special day or like a awareness
I
day or something
think,
going
yeah,
on?
I think there's something. There's some sort of awareness or like a
Like June 11th or something like that.
push
Yeah.
to do that. It's coming up soon. But I don't know. It's just one of those things that if you can do it, it doesn't take a long time.
And you
Uh,
get a cookie.
you get a cookie, you get a juice box. Um,
I
you
like
know,
those
you,
juice cylinders.
yeah, it's more of a juice rectangular prism, but whatever. We'll
It's a
we'll
nice
say box.
ball of juice. A juice sphere.
Uh, but yeah, so if you're able to, if you need to find your closest blood donation clinic in Canada, you can go to what is it? Giveblood.ca,
Yeah.
or
And
the French
the
version of that. I don't know. Just go to giveblood.ca and then click on
slash
the
French.
French. Yeah, giveblood.ca.
And then the American equivalent
Yeah, I think
to our
that one
American
is.
listeners.
I don't know what the American one is. It's probably like
Well, it's probably Red
Red
Cross.
Cross. Yeah,
Yeah. And yeah, people should, because there's been a lot of natural disasters as of late
yeah,
with multiple hundreds of tornadoes hitting. Well, we went really south with
yeah. We were on such a high note.
really brought this party down with Phil Hartman. But yeah, and if you have some time, just look up Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer or anything that Phil
Yeah.
Hartman's ever done ever. And
just look up Phil Hartman SNL and just enjoy
yeah,
yourself
have a
for 2
laugh.
hours.
And if you don't want to do that, you can change your phone settings to America and then download the SNL app like I have. And you can watch, like, I can't get the old episodes anywhere to watch them. So I'm watching, basically have like the episode, and then rather than have them together, it's like sketch in
Yeah,
clip form.
just the clips. Yeah.
So that's kind of what I've been watching. And yeah, there's lots of good Phil on there. And
Well,
Chris Farley. Shout out to Chris Farley too.
they're that's NBC, right?
Yep.
So they'll be launching a streaming service soon, I'm sure, and I'm sure they'll
Ooh,
have their entire back catalog of SNL on it. So
I'd watch that. I'd watch 40 years of SNL.
like, I am going to subscribe to this for 3 months.
Well, maybe not even 40 years. I'd watch up until
Chris Farley. Up until he.
So they were Dana, Mike Myers, I think were in the late 80s. So crossover into the 90s. I think Adam Sandler, David Spade, Chris Farley would have been like 90, 91, I think.
Yeah.
And they
90, I'd say even just up to like 2000, like near the end, you'd
even
get
when
whatever.
Chris Kattan and Will Ferrell joined the cast
Yeah.
too, it's still good.
Just as soon as Fallon gets there,
just turn it off. Him and Horatio Sands laughing at everything.
Like that's why that's why Fallon's a decent talk show host or late night host, I guess, because he can say stuff and then laugh about it, and it's fine and it's expected. But like not during an SNL skit, you look like an idiot, Fallon. Not that I could do it, because I like absolutely would be laughing at everything and not get through any amount of lines. But
at the same time,
yeah, like you're supposed to be good at this.
That's why you were hired. That or the Norm Macdonald's just silence follows his poor delivery when he was hosting Weekend Update. Still enjoyed him though. Still had his moments. Okay.
Celebrity Jeopardy.
Yes, Celebrity Jeopardy. Another good Will Ferrell and Daryl
Sean
Hammond.
Connery.
It's not. You see some of those old ones before it really took off, where it wasn't that funny, and sometimes I don't think it had Sean Connery.
Oh, really? Well, what's the point?
Oh, seriously. Let's just go watch Whose Line Is It Anyway. Also,
yeah, well,
good.
The points don't matter, so who cares?
Oh, Vishel.
Yeah,
this is what I was talking about. This is what I wanted to test out here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna end this dad joke with the soundboard. I'm gonna do two. One, which may what we do, and the other one may be what you didn't expect, but you wanted.
All right, let's do this.
All right, so here we're gonna do take one and then take two.
Let's do take two.
Yeah, take two is good. So, Vishal, did you hear about the guy who invented lifesavers?
I didn't.
They say he made a mint. Okay, I'm gonna do it again. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Vishal, did you hear about the guy who invented lifesavers?
I did not.
They say he made a mint.
Are we even allowed to have that on here?
It doesn't matter. We'll just say what it's for, and then we'll just let it play and close the show.
Yeah. All right.
So I say do that, and then have this play as I read the end description.
I like it.
All right. So we'll do that for next time. All right. So that's Open Caller for this week. Follow the show at facebook.com/Open Caller Podcast, Twitter, Instagram, Open Caller Pod. Stream us on YouTube, youtube.com/GoVNC. You can email us your questions, comments, topics for discussion. If you want to sit on the show, let us know. You can also do that in our voice messages. So check out the show notes for that. Drop us a line and you could hear yourself on an upcoming episode of the show. And don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Podcasts, or wherever you listen to the show. For Michelle, this is Corey reminding you to keep it casual.